I was honestly 100% expecting to go home at the last tribal council. Brendan came through with a clutch and 3-2-1'd it, and I'm still here. Like, I'm blown away. I wasn't voted out, and I'm feeling really blessed to still be in the game. So the plan, as I understand it, was that Old Red, so Ashley, Ben, Charlene, and Brendan, we're going to go 2-2, me and Jeremy, and then vote me out in the revote. I do think people still think I'm the boss. That last vote probably put a bigger target on my back, but I think Brendan saw it my way, at least, that Ashley was the boss. That's my understanding.
It was spicy though.
That was very spicy.
That was a fun little tribal.
I was not expecting that tribal to be like so.
I love a 3-2-1. I think a 3-2-1 is so interesting, like as a dynamic.
I'm flabbergasted to still be here. I was prepared to go. Like mentally, I was ready to go. I'm shocked I'm still here, and I think I have a really good chance to win if I make it to the end.
Final 5. It's crazy, guys.
I know, I was just thinking that on the way back. I'm like, what?
Like, how did I make it here?
I know.
Yeah, Ben's news is getting threatening. I will, continue that.
Yeah, I'm cautious of that, and particularly if he's got my name in his mind to put it down, he has the power coming to the next one. Like I feel like he's going to push the agenda of a Jeremy for a reason that I am not well known to yet. But I want to have a chat to him to be like, what can I do to at least secure the next vote?
But at the same time, we've got 3 people.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
absolutely.
And that gives us the strength. And providing one of us wins, then we can get Ben.
Look, I'm actually really surprised, to be honest with you. Like I said, I think I told 1,000 people before coming here. I thought, oh God, I'm going to be that person that's going to be first, So I'm happy to where I'm at.
It's funny because actually didn't make that plan for 2-2-2.
Yeah.
2 on you, 2 on you, and 2 on whoever you voted for.
Yeah.
And then the revote was going to be
That's
2
what it was.
on you.
Okay.
If
Yeah.
you didn't play an hard one.
Yeah.
So, 1 on you.
Yeah. So that's what it was. Okay, so Ben was there. So you were the other Jeremys, technically?
No, you were for the split vote.
I was supposed to be.
Yeah.
I think there's a few people on the jury who are probably bitter with decisions that I made, but they were made for my game. So especially that last vote with Ashley. I mean, I couldn't trust her enough from previous experiences to think that the plan was going to go ahead.
Ash, really, that was a good plan from Ash. And if that's not volumes to the level of gameplay that she was playing.
I think you definitely blindsided her with that vote.
Yeah.
Look, I wanted to come into this game like playing a very social game, making sure that I wasn't going to separate myself from talking to anybody just because there was previous alliances or previous, tribes. So I wanted to make sure that I had a conversation with everybody. So I think my social game has probably been my best advantage. But at the same time, I teamed up with people who I thought I could work with genuinely. I don't know how to say that word. Genuinely? No, that's not right.
Did Ash was she the two vote? Was that the plan?
Yeah.
With me?
Yeah.
That's what it's I named down kind of thing. Yeah.
I wasn't expecting Ashley to go in a 3-2-1. I was expecting it to be a 2-2-2. But obviously when you get to 6, the possibility of pushing just one person into a 3-2-1 is very, very likely.
For no other reason.
I actually kind of got the idea that you were flipping your vote from the way that you spoke to tribal. It was being insinuated that I should flip my vote to Brad, so I decided to just keep it where it was and not a vote for
Well, yeah, okay.
Ashley told me, but that's what made me a bit sus
Yeah.
because she was like, no, stick with Jeremy, stick with Jeremy, stick with him. But then at tribal, she's like,
Yeah.
What, what's
See,
going on?
she was trying to say the same thing to me, which is why I was just like, I don't know what's going on. And then you mentioned like there'll be 3 people in the majority, and I was just like, okay, I think a 3-2-1 vote is happening. So, you'll watch it. When I was here, it took forever to decide a name. So I was like, I can either tie it, put down Ashley's name, or I can just blindly vote, and that'll be a 3-2-1. Charlene tried to get me to put down Brad's name, so it would be a 3-3 tie and we'd go to a revote instead. And so my voting confession order went down. It took me a while to decide who to vote for, and in the end I decided to keep my vote on Jeremy and keep it as a 3-2-1 because I didn't want to vote Ashley out, but I do think having Ashley go does help a little bit.
I mean, she's the one who, if you've got to the final tribal, she would have her speech ready. Like, it's probably sitting in her pocket.
I was going to say she's probably been preparing. She probably prepared it last night.
But I would think, let's have confidence.
Yeah. I don't know. I have faith that Brendan, considering he got voted most likely to stab in the back, would maybe be willing to stab in the back again, and flip back to Charlene and I and take out a Brad or a Jeremy, because here I think is the best time for one of those two to go.
It feels great to be in the final 5. I am the only female left in the game, which is nice, but also maybe telling of bits and pieces of how the game's gone so far. I do feel a bit vulnerable. I've been in the dregs for a while. I've been on the bottom for quite some time now. I totally get that vote, and like part of me, and I said this, like I'm like, part of me like regrets like not voting with like they dropped it to me just like, and I didn't have time to think, to be honest, just beforehand. Now that I get like the reasoning why. My plan going forward is to legitimately survive at this stage. As I said, I think it sucks that I'm the only female left in the game, but I'm going to try and use that as much to my advantage. I think being honest with people has really helped me, and I'm just going to keep using that. I'm going to try really hard in this next immunity challenge. I hope it's something that I will be good at doing, because that can really change the game if it brings me towards the final 4.
What if you did have an idol? You know, like we don't want to pile all the votes onto it. That's why it just was too confusing.
Everyone is a threat. Brendan has flipped. He's been, he's been lying and deceitful. That in itself is a threat.
So we're at final 5. I don't have a hidden immunity idol. I think if I don't win immunity, I am the next vote. I need to win this challenge.
Okay, come on in, guys.
Alright, welcome everybody. We'll give you your next challenge. But first things first,
You're hiding it in there.
yes, don't want to give it back. Alright, immunity back up for grabs.
In this challenge, players will race to untie a series of knots that will release a set of 5 keys. Players need to find the right key to unlock the padlock, which will release an all-white circular puzzle. The first player to complete the puzzle wins reward in the form of chocolate bars, as well as immunity and a guaranteed spot in the final 4.
So everyone understands the rules? Yep. Okay. Survivors ready? Go!
Alright, Charlene working on the knots really well there by looks of it. Brad really making quick work. Ben making quick work. Brad's looking like he's really doing well. Jeremy doing well now. Brad's almost got it by the looks of it. Charlene's starting to struggle with the knots, not figuring that out. Brendan looking like he's in a bit of a fizzle. Ben is working on the locks. He's got it. First person. Brad's got it. Second person working. Jeremy's got it. Starting working on his lock. Brandon's working on his lock. Brad's got his lock undone. Ben's got his lock undone. Working on the puzzle. Jeremy's got his lock undone. Brendan's got his lock undone. Charlene's still working on the locks. Getting the puzzle pieces out. Seeing what the puzzle is. Some groans from the players as they see what the puzzle is. Charlene's still working on the lock, yet to get her puzzle out. There is still time. You can still do this.
No, the water doesn't have a hole.
Everywhere.
And Charlene getting her puzzle pieces out now during the fray. Puzzle is the great equalizer in Survivor, so you can still be in it.
Not the great equalizer. You have to equal it, That's copyrighted.
Alright. Brad making some progress on the puzzle by the looks of it. Ben got a few pieces there. Brad making great progress there. Almost got the outer shell of his puzzle. Brendan making some progress as well. Jeremy getting a few pieces. Charlene looking at the lay of the land, seeing what she's got here. Hasn't put anything together yet though. Brad getting a bit stuck, still working on that outer puzzle. You could have pieces wrong and it won't make sense until the end. Got to make sure they fit. They will fit nice and snug. You do not have to force these pieces at all. Jeremy making some progress now on that outer side of the puzzle. Brendan making some progress. Brad hasn't made any progress for a while. Trying to force pieces by the looks of it. No, I'm not going to do it. Ben making some progress. Charlene's strategy of seeing where she was up to might come in handy later. Ben nearly looking like he's got the outside of that puzzle. Jeremy making some good progress now. This is a hard puzzle. Brendan making some good progress now. Nearly got that outer shelf. Brendan and Jeremy neck and neck at the moment. Great. Alright, Jeremy and Brendan starting to work on the second layer of their puzzle. Brad's gone backwards somehow. Charlie not making much progress now. Things have slowed down, that's for sure. Brendan in the lead so far. Making progress looking good. Once you get the ball rolling, it'll just go. Brad looking like he's got the water of his puzzle done. Ben working on the second layer of his puzzle. If you have pieces wrong, you will know that try and fit other pieces in. Ben making some progress now. Starting to work on the centerpieces. Jeremy taking his time, making sure he's got things right. Brendan making some good progress, but has he got pieces in the right place? Same with Brad. Making some good progress. Charlene looking a bit stuck with this one. A little bit of progress for Charlene.
Yes, man, only female.
Oh my God. You could be slow and steady and win the race. You never know in puzzles. Brendan's starting to look a little bit stuck. He's been on the same part for a little while now. Very making good progress now. Got one piece of the border that just won't go there. That could be a problem later in the puzzle. Ben making some good progress now. Ben has taken the lead. Ben with his last few pieces by the looks of it. Is it going to fit?
Oh my god, these bats are so annoying.
Ben wins individual immunity for the third time. Safety and a spot in the final four. Well done. Ben, congratulations. Immunity is all yours.
Necklace.
Old friends.
Once again.
You also win reward in the form of chocolate. Thank you. Ben, that looks like a great reward there, but I do want you to pick one person.
Okay, I'm gonna choose just because I have given other people opportunities before, so.
So Ben, safety for you, a spot in the final four. The rest of you, Travel Council, one of you is going to go home and be the next jury. I'll give you a little while to think about it, head on out.
I am so shocked that I was able to pull out my third consecutive win for immunity. I was not at all expecting to do something like this. I think it's honestly, I've just had everything work in my favor in terms of like challenges. It's just a matter of who's worse out of the two. Who's more dangerous, getting further, Brad or Jeremy? I think Brad. Yeah. So yeah. I just think I think he's actually played a really good social game, considering he's only had his name written down once. Yeah. Well, I mean, now a couple times, but like before that, the fact that his name had barely been thrown out. And everyone seemed good with Brad from what I'm aware on like original and blue.
Final five, Ben just won an immunity for the third time in a row. This is the Keegan run that we dreaded, but now it's called the Ben run, that he is just going to he's just building out the resume, building all these kinds of strength and power.
Really, going to talk about it both. All we can talk about is Brendan, right? Yeah. Are you happy with Brendan? Yeah, I mean, easy.
He's pretty much the only person here who's clicked on me, so.
Yeah, we've got reasons to do so.
Brad and Jeremy came to me with a proposal. I don't know if that was genuine or not.
Playing really well. Yeah, no, exactly. So if
they said put Brendan on the piece of paper, Brendan has flipped a few times, though every single person is a threat. Like, I know everyone's like, oh, but this person's a threat and this person's a threat, and they'll have these counts. Literally every single one of those guys is an incredible threat.
So I think the easy narrative for me to push is your name, and I'm not going to write his name down just because I think like you and I we've established such an already good connection. So I think my best case scenario is that
I really just would never want to write your name down now.
No, yeah, I mean, exactly,
I have this thing and I'm like, no.
Because if you do, I'll hate you. No.
I trust Jeremy. I think we've gelled. We've gone through some emotional experiences together, which I didn't expect to get emotional. I don't think he expected to get emotional with that whole Alex saga. So I'm just going to trust in that.
And maybe for both you and I, moving forward, I'll just keep you in the loop in my thoughts, and
Yeah.
yeah, maybe vice versa.
Yeah.
And whatever you want to do,
Yeah.
just let me know, because
I just like, I can't vote for you. Like, ever
No.
since that Alex thing happened, I'm just like, no, it's
know.
all too much for me.
I know it's just like when you go through something like that,
I know.
which I mean unexpectedly really tears at you emotionally. Shailene and I have like made quite a strong connection, in a sense that we've like gone through a fair bit together, and I think that's where it caught me out the most, where it actually, I didn't come into this sort of thinking that I would have any issue from the emotional point as well, and I was like, this is going to be actually so easy. I just sort of looked at both of them and I said to Brad, I can't write your name down purely because we've been so close. Shailene, you and I have like gone through a fair bit together, so I can't write your name down. So as a result, I'm hoping the three of us can go a majority on Brendan.
I just gotta like make sure that Shani trusts me.
That's the thing, y'all. I think after last fight, I'm not 100% sure where her head's at. Like, I really want to talk to her. But I think she's more loyal to, like, original Red.
We can't do anything.
I mean, it's coming down to, you know, if we don't take them out, they're going to take us out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want that to happen.
Yeah. And like, they're just so strong together.
And they're not going to accept them.
And they're both really, like, when it comes to the final three, they'll be like a lot. Like, yeah.
Well, as Ben said, when it gets to final four, if they're both still here, that's 2 votes against somebody. So, you know, if someone whoever the other two are wins immunity,
Yeah.
the other person, like, that's just signing the walls.
Yeah. I still think I'm very much on the bottom. Again, only female really doesn't help the situation. I still trust very much in my alliance with Ben. Him and I haven't been able to have a talk or reconvene recently, but I just trust that that alliance is so solid that I don't need to worry.
Yeah, I think he's playing extremely well. I think he was playing very under the radar until now. I think he's still playing under the radar, but he has.
But he's doing it much more effectively than before.
Yeah.
Charlene and Brendan have pitched Brad because Brad has played an amazing social game. He is very under the radar. He's very, very good at playing this game. And then Brad and Jeremy have given me Brendan's name because he is building a resume for himself. He is starting to play the game. He played a great under the radar game. And now he's actually starting to make moves, and he has a fun personality that people will vibe with.
I think Brendan for the vote. Yeah, I think Brendan's playing a huge under the radar game.
Correct, yeah. And as I said, like, his ability to get pockets of information from both sides, that's actually been quite clever.
I think I'm going to go into Tribal Council with an open mind and really try to think it through, hear what people are saying, and make a decision based on how it seems to be going at Tribal Council.
Yeah, I don't want to go either. It's like at the end of the day, Ben has an injury. He was the easy vote before. Yeah. I don't see the point of changing.
I mean, I think it's
I think so.
Yeah.
If we don't vote Charlotte.
Yeah.
I think for me, Charlotte, like we've been pitted against each other for a little while, and so like even though we like obviously respect and love each other's game, I think there's just a certain element of like if I don't get her, she's going to get me. Yeah. And like that could be very much a reality. Like going into like this quite a tight, you know, with Ben having immunity, like he could easily quite like sway a couple of votes my way. So
Look, honestly, I think, you know, there's everyone's got some sort of quality of threat about them. You know, Charlene is a very likable character.
Yeah, you're the swing vote here.
But they want to separate you two.
And we want to separate those two. So you're
Yeah.
you're the swing. Yeah.
I mean, I think I've proven myself.
Yeah.
You know, that.
My pitch to say is that I'm not actually that big of a threat, and look how good Brendan's doing. He is slaying these challenges, and look how good Charlene's doing. She's so likable. Jeremy's got a great story, and look at his golden locks. You just can't not love the man. Just play up everyone else, downplay myself, like the opposite of my Tinder profile back in the day.
look, I'm not exactly confident that the Brendan vote will happen, only because there's probably like a very good argument for maybe me.
Okay, come on in, guys. Take a seat. And we'll now bring in our jury. Dom, Alex, Megan, and the newest member of our jury, Ashley, voted out at the last tribal council. Okay, welcome guys. Congratulations, Ben. Yet again, you're sitting there with the necklace around your neck.
So I'm saying.
How do you feel?
I feel pretty good. It sounded like there was a lot of competition down during the challenge, so I was actually kind of surprised to pull this one out of the bag. So,
Yeah, good on you.
Do you think this makes you an even bigger threat? I know we've argued a little bit, but 3 immunity is pretty amazing. What are you doing to like try and lower that threat?
I think it's definitely threatening, especially because it's 3 in a row as well. Like it's not like someone's won in between. But I'd like to have faith and trust with the people that I'm aligned with, and think that I wouldn't need this regardless.
So who do you have for the next one?
That's a good idea, actually. Yeah.
Who do we have trust with then?
I mean, I'd like to say that I do have like a little bit of trust with everybody, but like I think there's a way that it could go where I can either stick with people that I've known or move on with people that I know are sort of.
Jeremy, we're getting to a stage where we do have to start thinking about who you want to take to the finals 3. So, what does that look like for you? What's your reasoning there?
Yeah, for me, it's a little bit a part of who I'd like to be there sitting next to me. I don't know if that's going to look like a final 2 or final 3. Another aspect of it, who I think has deserves to win this game. I think it's been a fantastic series. I have really enjoyed, watching people go through this in a very unique, different way. And for this season, which has had a lot of ups and downs, a lot of tumultuous kind of tribal councils, and a lot of different things getting thrown out. I think the deserved winner, they'll be there in the end, no matter what. I have confidence that the deserved winner will come out at the very end there. So, for me, what does it look like? I think there's an alliance that I've had from the very beginning that I'm looking to move forward with. And then there's definitely new relationships that I'm looking forward with. And that's purely because right now I'm getting a lot of good feedback from them saying, I've got your best interest in mind, and just likewise, I want to see them get to the end because I think that's what's going to be probably the best outcome.
Yeah, absolutely. And Charlene, what does that look like for you, the final 3?
I honestly think that everyone here has been an amazing player. I think that everyone is equally a threat, even if people are trying to upsell who's the biggest threat. I think everyone here sitting right next to me has equal playing field right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if any of these people made it to the final 3.
So Charlene, do you think, is there much chat in the group around, because obviously we're building a jury now, and so do you think that's because everyone's got good relationships with people in the jury, or because they played a good game? Why? Can you expand on that a bit?
I think because they played a good game.
Okay.
I don't know that, I'm sure people are thinking about what the jury will think, but I think the jury will probably look at it from how they played strategically and what moves they made, just based on what I know about the jury. So I think that all 4 of these people next to me are an equal threat in that regard.
And Brad, there's always talk of building a resume in Survivor, so we've got 2 votes left, presumably. So what do you have to do in these last 2 votes to build a resume, do you think?
I don't know, I feel like everyone here has a pretty solid resume going forward. As Charlene said, I think a lot of people here, it's relatively level playing field comes to the merge. Obviously you want to make moves and try to stay away from the course. You don't want to be the person who just kind of goes along like the duck with the river. Be the duck that flies on the river and go against the grain. It's cliche, but that's generally what looks a bit better. And people have done that as well in this game. So.
And Brendan, do you think there are any goats in this game?
Honestly, I don't think so. I mean, I think, as they've already said, and it's probably very cliche, but the 5 people sitting here have actually done a really good job to get here. I don't think anyone's being dragged along the ride.
This is all very sort of nice and fluffy, and nobody's really.
Yeah,
we're back into the old.
It's come full circle.
That'd be nice though, at the same time, aren't they?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Ben, what do you expect to happen in this vote?
I'm someone to go home.
Absolutely.
Let's be real. No, I mean, I think we'll see where people are aligned and what will end up happening in the final four. So,
Jeremy, is someone about to get blindsided?
No, I don't think so. I think there's a general, not really consensus in a way, but I think at the end of the day, there's some moves that are quite anticipatory coming into these final stages where they're actually quite crucial. So when you're looking at each person's game, you're actually kind of really realizing the path that they're on and what they need to do to secure their final three position. Presumably it's a final three. So I think in a sense everybody's probably conscious that they've got a chance of going home, except for Ben, of course. And so as a result, it's probably not going to be a blindside. I think, I mean, not to say there's like one clear person, but at the end of the day, it's just going to come down to what the majority can say that's the best for them.
Well, with that, it is time to vote. Brad, you're up first.
I'm trusting in Jeremy's relationship with Charlene, and hopefully people cut out the person playing in the middle.
Seems like there's two almost power couples in the team, Charlene and Van and Jeremy and Brad. I seem to be in the middle, so it could be me going home, but we'll see how it goes.
I'm not gonna lie, this one hurts the most because I never wanted to vote you out.
We'll go get the votes. Alright, if anyone would like to play an idol, this is the final time to do so. Alright. Count the votes. First vote, Brad. Second vote, Brendan. One vote Brad, one vote Brendan. Third vote, Charlene. One vote Brad, one vote Brendan, one vote Charlene. Fourth vote, Brendan. Two votes Brendan, one vote Brad, one vote Charlene. 11th person voted out, 5th member of the jury. Votes are already.
Brendan.
Alright guys, you made the final four.
Congratulations.
I mean, else for you to say, but you're so close to final three, you can touch it, but one of you will not make it, and three of you will be able to speak their case at the final tribal council. Over now.
Look, I thought I was good with with Brad and Jeremy, but I had a feeling as I was coming up to vote that there is two power couples left in the game, and that I was the sort of odd person out there. So I had a feeling that they'll either want to go with a 3-2 way, split, or they're just going to say, well, how about we just fight it out at the end and we'll take Brendan out. Well, look, as I said, they're both sort of connected to each other, but whoever wins the next, it's going to come down to the next immunity challenge as to who gets to that final 3. I think Brad has a great game that he's played as well, but if either of those 2 boys, like Brad or Jeremy, make it to the finals, they're going to have a better resume because they have come from a majority or minority of 2 against the rest of the previous red.
You have snitched and snuck around one too many times, which will make you a great threat at the final 3.
No, I come into this game wanting to play differently to my online game and other live versions that I've played, because I've been sort of typecast as a villain or although I didn't see him in this game, they all thought I was a backstabber anyway. But I think I played really well socially, and I think I made some decent connections in regards to the moves that were made as well. So I wouldn't change anything.
To vote for you tonight is because I think you played a really good game from the middle. You've actually gotten from a lot of information from separate different groups, and although it's quite risky and quite a challenging position, I think you've done it very well. But unfortunately, I think it's just until you do get caught out, and this might be the moment that you have got caught out from playing from the middle. Sorry about that. I think you did a hell of a job.
No, I've enjoyed it. I've actually surprised myself a lot because I honestly, coming into it, thought I was just going to be targeted because I may not be a asset for each tribe because I may not be as physical as the rest. So I've actually surprised myself getting this far.